Well, good morning. This is Hiro again. I thought what I'd cover today is your soil, more specifically bonsai soil. Well, you know, one of the things about bonsai soil, there really is no bonsai soil per se. Every nursery, every teacher, everybody has their secret formula. Yet, if you really understand plants, they'll grow in just about anything. I've seen claims where it was grown in stray sand and this and that. You gotta add this and that, and it comes down to just about anything. Well, you know, I've been telling you about what I use, right? I'm using 3 parts compost, 1 part sand, 1 part lava rock. But what I thought I'd do today is to help those of you that are not close to me, because if you're close by, you could just come by and pick up my bulk mix. Just bring a 5-gallon bucket and then I'll sell you that much. Well, but if you're from far away or different countries, different parts of the world, we all have different needs. And what I was thinking was, I bought this commercial mix, and then I think if you buy your locally selling commercial mix, they should formulate it to match the area. So anyway, what I'm gonna do is to pop this open and see what it looks like. I think these major companies will make it to fit the region. And I was reading the back of this, and they said in California this and that, and in other states this and that. So that's what I'm assuming. So, but you know, those of you that are in areas that have no access to specialty nurseries, well, you could just go down to your local nursery, garden center, and go pick up a bag of potting soil. Hey, this looks actually pretty good. Well, it's probably hard to see, but right here it says in California, da 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 da, and in California and Idaho, da 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 da. So I'm thinking that they will adjust for the different regions. So I'm looking at this and it looks pretty good. Those of you that are starting from seeds or little cuttings, I think you could use this straight on. It really does feel good right in here. And then see, it doesn't compact. The package said it had 25 quarts. So if I'm not mistaken, that's roughly a 5-gallon, right? And what I thought, to make this a little bit more closer to my mix, I wanted to add the lava rock. So I think these little white things sort of represent something like that. But for my use, I thought we will use this lava rock. So roughly I have 1 gallon in here. See, like that, and then you thoroughly mix it. And then I think it starts to get close to what I like to use. There's been a lot of theories. Well, if you go and read everything that's been written about bonsai and bonsai soil, there are some wild theories. One of them was if you use angular amendments, stone or lava rock, then the top part will twist and turn because the root is hitting these angular things. And I have some questions about that. But hey, like I said, I've been at this a long time, and I read and I had heard stories, and I've come to the conclusion there is no such thing as a perfect bonsai soil, right? Also, I think most people make the mistake of thinking bonsai as one thing. Well, you got these initial starts when you have the seeds and things like that. That is a pre-bonsai, working on material. So that should have, well, this is probably a good mix for that. But in terms of feeding and things like that, that is different than a mature bonsai. Okay, if you have a seedling or starter or something very young, you want this thing to grow as fast as you can, right? So you should grow in a nice, rich medium like this, and then feed it fairly heavy. Now, as you get into a very nice finished bonsai, then you really don't want it to grow anymore. So that maybe you want to start to change your soil. But more importantly, it's about the fertilizing, right? So think like this. Well, my grandkids are less than 10. They can eat the double cheeseburger, milkshake, French fries, and all that, and they burn it off. Well, now us mature adults, politely called us old folks, can't eat like that. We used to, but now we can't because of changing conditions, right? So when you have a very young bonsai, then you should feed it with as much nitrogen part of the fertilizer as you do without damaging or burning. And then as you get into the more mature finished bonsai, you should cut back, so feed it minimum. Okay, I got this fairly well mixed, and I'm thinking I want to add a little more lava rock. Is this scientific? Not really. I'm just going by the feel, right? So I'm going to put another gallon. This one is finer. Well, what it is I buy these in bulk, right? I get a truckload of lava rock, and then I've been separating it so that the first one was the coarse one, and then this one is sort of the medium. And what happens is when I use this as a decorative thing on the surface of the bonsai, it looks neater. But in my regular mix, it's always about both of them mixed together anyway. So anyway, that's what I thought I'd do. And so get this thing thoroughly mixed. Yeah, see, I'm beginning to like the looks of this. And like I said, there's no magical formula. The big test is when I use this and how does it grow, right? So in this initial state, we want it to grow as fast as possible. So as we get to the mature, well-developed bonsai, we want it to grow slow so we could work the detail. But see, I'm beginning to really like this feel and the look of the soil. Okay. Mix thoroughly. If it was a bigger batch, I was throwing in my cement mixer, but one bag, I think. So what am I going to do next? I'm going to take this and I'll see how this reacts. And I have everything I do around here seems like non-scientific, sort of on the gut feel. It feels like it may work. And you know that it doesn't always work, right? We have some theories that I tried, didn't work. You got to take chances. But I was thinking it was difficult for many of you to get decent potting soil or bonsai soil. And this way, I think you have a fairly good chance. I'll assume most of you have a nursery or garden center nearby that have these packaged potting soil. Well, you have to remember that bonsai is not that exotic of a plant. Just think of bonsai as a potted plant with an interesting shape. So you don't really need this so-called bonsai soil. And so now that I added my few little things to it, now this is Hiro's bonsai soil. But you saw that it's nothing mysterious. It's just a bag of potting mix. And I added lava rock thinking it might be a little bit better. But like I was saying before, there is no such thing as a bonsai soil, at least not a universal one. Because one of my favorite students, he moved to Florida. So we already knew that because it rains so much over there, we can't use the same formula. And then, remember my friend Chuck, right? He lives not far from here. By car, it's less than 45 minutes. Yet we have to use a different soil mix. So this, to me, will work well in the California Central Valley where it gets hot and dry. And I think that's what the big companies do, is they adjust the mixes to the locale. I think. That's not a proven fact, but I have the feeling they do that because they want the customers to succeed. Okay? So anyway, this is a little bit of thing on bonsai soil. Mainly, I wanted for those of you that can't get to a regular bonsai nursery or come here to be able to find a suitable mix. So don't fall for the fallacy of being a perfect bonsai mix. The plant will grow in just about anything. You just have to make sure that you adjust your watering and feeding and all that based on knowledge of the soil. Okay, so this is Hiro saying goodbye. Hopefully you get something out of this little short chapter, because I feel that the soil is the key to the whole success. If you don't know your soil, you can't really get to the higher end. But like I was saying, this is primarily to try to help you, those of you that do not have access to a bonsai nursery. Okay, see you again real soon in another chapter.